What's up guys, it's Mario. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be a tutorial on how to make a Black Ops 4 thumbnail. So let's just get right into it. Alright, so I've imported my screenshot into a 1920 by 1080 project file, and I've also imported my color correction. The project file will be in the description, so be sure to go download that to follow along. First thing we're going to do is cut out the weapon. So you're just going to take your pen tool, rasterize the layer if you haven't already, and then just go in and just pen tool the weapon. So I'm going to do a pretty rough job just for the time of the tutorial. I don't want it to be too long. Alright, once you're finished with the cutout, you're going to connect your final point. I'm going to zoom out really quick. You're going to go to selection at the top left, click it, and then feather radius 0.5 just so it smooths out the edge just a little bit so it's not super sharp. You click OK, and then Control J on the selection. So now you have your gun to move it around. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it a little bigger. So that's Control T and just hold Shift and drag the corner. Just so like the gun is like a main part of the screen. I don't know if that's what you're going to want for your thumbnail. Every thumbnail is different. So whatever the main focal point is, you want to make that the biggest part of the thumbnail. So now onto the layer style of the gun. I'm going to do like a white glow on the outside. This will help the gun stand out. So I'm going to do outer glow, white, just keep it on normal. Up the spread so it looks a little, so it's brighter on the edges. Bring up the size to your liking, and then lower the opacity if you need to. I'm going to bring the size and spread down a bit because I don't want it to be that defined. Alright, now that that's done, click OK. For this particular image, I'm going to have to do some color correction on the gun itself because it's got like a green-yellow tint to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the middle icon in the bottom right. I'm going to click color balance. Yeah. And then just mess around with the sliders. Actually, you got to clipping mask it first. Just mess with the sliders until the gun color. So it's like, ought to be white balanced. Alright, that looks good to me. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to make the background whatever color you want it to be. So for that, all you got to do is, I'm going to bring this layer to the top. Pick two colors, the same hue. So I'm going to go with a blue. I'm going to pick a dark color as well as a light color. So once you have that done, you go to your gradient tool. You can just press G on the keyboard. Make sure you have the leftmost gradient option clicked. And then just take it in one of the corners and drag. And then we're going all the way down to the bottom. You're going to take your screenshot layer, put it on luminosity. You can just drag the fill down to whatever you want. For this thumbnail, I'm going to keep it at 40% because I feel like it's a good middle ground and it looks nice. So now we're going to work on the text. For this, I used the Fortnite font. It's called Burbank. There'll be a link in the description below. So I'm just going to call it, I'm just going to write sample text. You want to make sure your text layers are individual. I'm going to make it pretty big, probably 300 sized font. Alright, now that you have your text typed out, we're going to work on the layer style. So what we're going to do, you're going to gradient overlay, like a nice, sort of very light, but bluish toned gradient. So I'm going to use a very light gradient just because it gives the text more of a pop and it makes it look a little nicer. You can do this for both text objects, so you can just copy the layer style and paste it onto the next text layer. So now we're going to go back in and we're going to apply a stroke. You're going to want to change the fill type to gradient, and then under gradient you're going to find one that you like. You're going to create one that you like. So I'm going to try to pick one that's similar to the color scheme I have, which is like a blue, dark blue tone. I'm going to go with this one. Looks nice. We're going to size up to about 15, maybe a little less, probably 12. That looks nice. Then you can just copy it, paste it to your other text layer. From there, just take your text, rotate it as you please. I have it on a -5 angle. Group your text so you can move it easier. I'm going to put it in the top left here, scale it up a bit more. Now the text really doesn't look like it's popping too much. Alright, so now what I'm going to do to make it so that my text stands out from the stroke behind it, I'm going to hold Control. On the text layers, there's a little T icon. Hold Control, click that. Hold Shift and Control, then click the second one. That'll select both layers. Make a new layer above them. fill it with whatever color you want. Doesn't really matter because we're going to take it away in the end. Open the blending options. Go to drop shadow, and then I have mine set to 90 degrees, 45% opacity, 5 pixel distance, and then 5 pixels for the size as well. Just going to click OK. Next thing we're going to do is go to the fill and drag that down to 0 so we see these layers above it. And there's the text done. So we could just add the Black Ops 4 logo or whatever logo that if you're playing whatever game, the logo of that, just drag that and drop it in. The layer style I have on this is a 15 pixel stroke, the gradient. This will be in the project file, so you can just use that. I'm gonna just align it. I'm gonna eyeball it so it's aligned with the sample text. So next we're gonna just add a drop shadow to our text. Just lower the distance. I'm gonna go with like a 65% opacity. That looks nice. And then you can add speed lines. It's easy to make. You just go to you use your lasso tool and just click and make little triangles on the edge. Hold shift and you could do multiple triangles. Alright, so now we're gonna fill it with white and then put it on overlay and then just drop the opacity. Alright, so that is how you make a simple Black Ops 4 thumbnail. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. The project file will be linked in the description below, so check that out if you want to follow along and use the layer styles that I used. Thanks for watching.